Hello everybody, this is Saito with his Atlantica Commentaries. Before we start, I would like to apologize it took so long to upload these new Titan replays I promised, but I have been kinda on a bad foot lately, good exams, and my mic was kinda sucky and stuff, so I really didn't have much time, but I'm back and I bought a brand new mic, so the sound quality should be a lot better. I also want to thank to all people who already subscribed to my previous videos. It really means a lot to me and it helps me to get the courage and the excitement to continue this road. Yeah, that's that. I just didn't want to spend all the time with introduction, and so I don't spend all the replay on talking about trivial stuff. I should introduce this matchup. This was actually recorded at 16 January Titan Championship in the round of 8, and the combatants are the one and only, not lonely, favorite to win, ZERKproject, a beloved hero of Argos server, and of course the lost son who actually quit a while back but returned, like a phoenix who returned from the ashes to show us his amazing skills with his amazing winning rate of nearly good like 92%. I don't think I have to add anything more to that. And his opponent will be Bossdom from Sikian server. I look him up and believe it or not, he's actually a number 5 at the Sikian server, and that's just incredible, isn't it? With winning rate of 68%. I'm quite looking forward to this because it's not one of those usual clone battles when you have just two builds with the same weaponry and same mercenaries, but this is more like an old version of PvP build against the new one. And the new one is represented by ZERKproject, who is an sword main with Odysseus and... or is it Odysseus? I'm really not that good with pronunciation of the mercenary names, or give or take the skills of mercenary magic, but I try to at least make it sound understandable. And just now you could have seen the deadliest kind of combo magic there is so far, and that's the weapon rent magic with Chaos Edge. You should all remember that the weapon rent that DoD has as his, mostly used skill actually raises the skill level or magic damage dealt by any other sword skill magic. Let it be Chaos Edge or Crimson Blade by Pirate, or even Mana Burn from Exorcist, which is really deadly if you use it at the second row where you have your Beast Soul mercenaries, but Bossdom is already one step ahead of ZERKproject and actually has his main and Empress at the third row, where they are protected from the weapon rent combo, because weapon rent can only reach up to second row. And that is really smart because he sees that ZERKproject doesn't use Exorcist, so his monk is safe from being sealed by Exorcist Mana Seal. And even if he used Empress Silence on Bossdom's monk, there would be no danger because he has Empress at the third row who could just bless monk and free him of the silence. So that is really wise, but he has to be careful about not getting his Empress sniped, because then the monk would be in serious jeopardy. But Bossdom is apparently a lot better player than that, and he's using his monk and Empress to the maximum effect. However, Zerk is actually in quite a bit ahead. He's quite ahead because he already sniped Horang, who adds the additional combo rate as well as damage to Bossdom's main and Empress, as well as the only healer Bossdom has, and that is the Shaman, so there won't be any surprising noble sacrifices that can really turn the match around. And Zerk he realizes that he is ahead, so he uh, even adds up to his lead by constantly adding more and more ladders of seals. Now he forest prisoned the front, but and even arrested the monk. However, Bossdom realizes that he doesn't or he mustn't allow his front to be sealed because uh, it's the only damage dealing part of the party he has. And now Zerk actually makes a little blunder and gets some of his mercenaries stunned, which uh, you can say that he's ahead and he can allow himself to get stunned here or there, but you have to realize that when you get stunned, you lose your activation, which means less mercenaries you can use and less opportunities to deal damage or prevent damage from happening, and that's really bad. And actually, Zerg just made a terrible decision and used his Vorang to snipe all the exorcists of Bossdoms who would actually die from the next turn of Dota, because it takes always around 2000 something HPs, and I'm thinking the exorcist didn't really have that much hit points. He should have used his activation of Horang to snipe the Empress, which would be really most cost-effective way of using his turn. And now that the game has already passed the point where the Dota starts to set in, I noticed that Zerk starts to make little blunders and gradually losing the advantage he once had. And one of his blunders is that he actually left his sheriff at the second row where it will get easily sniped, and then he might have his third sealed, and that's really really bad. And yes, Bossdom actually uh, takes advantage of this mistake and silences the third row, and there is actually a bunch of combo 2 at the sum of Zerk's mercenaries, which means there won't be anyone to awake them now that the monk is sealed. And this really starts to get interesting, because Zerk can now choose from several options, and one I would prefer would be if he weapon rendered the Bossdom last row and used his Hell's Edge, but he actually uses Shield Bash on Drew. And I don't think this will cut it, because he should have just spiked the main. Now that there is no healer, he just will get freezed and stunned, because there was too many combo rate to begin with. And well, there is this. Yes, there is the stun and the freeze lock, and this is it. I think the Zerg actually will lose, and because he made so many mistakes, or not many mistakes, but even the little mistakes actually add up if you fight in this kind of high level battle. He should have just finished the Empress long ago. She was surviving for many turns with just a few of the HPs left and always get healed at the last second. And he also should have just went for the main with his weapon and Chaos Edge combo, and this really will cost him the victory, because Bossdom did exactly what he should have done. He Warcried Horang, who could have just sniped the main easily, sealed the Empress, who could just silence the monk or the Empress, and actually Warcry on the Hwarang gets down, and he has the last chance to actually snipe the main if he gets some reasonable combo. But the last hit was just a single hit, and this is really bad. Bossdom could have died from the Dota, but he just will finish Zerk, and this will end by the victory of Seki on server. So that will be this. Just I would like to, for all of you, just to take one note from this, that really fight isn't over until it's really over, and you shouldn't just underestimate your enemies, because they can get their asses back to the fight if they really try, or you make just too many mistakes. So that's it. See you guys next time, and try to subscribe to me a little more. Just tell me what you would like to see. If it's the PvP you want to see of the high level players, or is it the PvP you want to see from myself playing, or at what kind of resolution do you want to watch the fights? Is it at when you can lower the interface by using Alt plus W? Well, you tell me. Okay guys, so see you next time.